How are you? What's up, James? How's it going, dude? Let's see if the game decides that. There it goes. There's the game loading. I'm a Sith. The first is a given. Patriarch of the Sith. Very nice. Very nice. Let's see here. Let's go ahead. What do we want to do? What do we want to connect to? We just finished armor. Let's see. How many leaves do I got? Journal. Ooh, 90. Got lots of leaves. Hey, Philip. How you doing? How's it going, everybody? Let's see here. Goodness gracious. Let's take a look at my classes. That's going to be the best option. Character, class, jobs. 15 culinarian. See here, 65 miner, 66 botanist, 63 fisher, 90 leaves. Let's see how, what's our timers looking like? Timers. There it is. Alright, so next mission allowance. Mole loaf. Mole loaf. That sounds disgusting. I need 3. Too high quality. 60. I don't need 60. Don't need 5. 1. That's 450. 1. Ugh. Alright, fine. I'll take the 450. Let's go turn that in. Yes. Yes. Hey, Ma. Don't like housing RNG timer. Yeah, like if you want to get a house, basically the game is now encouraging you to get a bot. Like, you have to break the rules and all that crap. Like, it's ridiculous. They make housing instance. At least make a version of housing instance. You can keep with the competition housing. Nothing else. Maybe farming will be the ultimate solution. Maybe farming will allow certain things like that. Let me know how the audio is balanced for the stream, guys, if it's giving us any grief. And welcome, Muzzinut, to the workforce. Thanks for hitting that follow button over on Twitch. Twitch. Undertake preventative mole loaf. Yes, you may have this disgusting mole loaf. At level 16, I have not ever cooked anything in this game. What just happened? So what that is a notification. So if anybody follows, subscribes, cheers on our Twitch page or on our YouTube page, we get notified of it. We're not live on Twitch right now, but it still is an integrated system, etc. So that's just what happened. Dark David, thank you for much saying sounds good to me, and howdy to you. Boom, boom, boom. How's everybody doing tonight? What do you guys? How you guys been? I don't think I have live streamed in a long time. All right, do I have a culinarian that I can equip? Fisher, miner, red mage, carpenter. I don't even think I do. That's how much I don't like culinarian. Okay, let's. Where are we at miner wise? 65. Okay, that's actually making some good progress. Where are we at in overall goals for it? Halfway there. What do I need to turn in? While I'm here. Could have bought it. Undertake supply and provisioning. Expert delivery, no thank you. Provisioning. Morny fish, Deccan radish, and Dadomite. Let's see here. Let's find out where all that stuff is. Second chat, I might not see your chats for while I Google. Daitomite. Where can I get Dadomite, Gamer Escape? Where do I farm you? Query raising the Ruby C. Okay. Ruby C. Got it. Alright, and now chat's back. Welcome back, chat. Let's go to the Ruby C, shall we? Let's get ourselves some Dadomite. You know, the best thing about it is I am my own best entertainment. I entertain myself. Oh, hey, Doug. Oh, let's see here. Can I just tell you from here? Howdy, Doug. Howdy, Doug. All right, Dadomite. Let me get caught up. Hey, Willem. How you doing? Let's see here. If I miss, guys, a comment or a question and, you know, I want to try not to ignore it, you can always tag at WorkToGame and it gets a nice little highlight. So if it's something specific and it's like, especially like, I really need to know how to X, be sure to like at me in chat, and that way it shows up a little bit cleaner. Hey, John. Watching from work, man. I worked 12 hours today, dude. We are still moving. Like, I was at the old house. I had to pick up a couple of heavier things still left there. So, dude, I feel you. But then, yeah, I worked 12 hours. Then I did that, got home, and I was like, I told my wife, I was like, I need to go, like, just hit some things with the rocks. Oh, man. Oh, thanks, dude. I'm live right now and dictating this message back to you. Thanks for watching in the workforce. Means a lot. Boom. Awesome. All right. Sorry about that, guys. Comeback noob. Crafting. The one thing I haven't done in the game. Only level 70 I have is my red mage, and I'm just dreading trying to level up my level classes and jobs, let alone trying crafting. Dude, I know how that feels, man. Like, I mean, I've only been playing this game for 9 years, so it's like at least I've got you know, some, like, it's a process. What's up, Mimi? How you doing? Love the name. Oh, I guess I could just swim over there. Cool. You on Twitch? Nah. On YouTube right now. But we do the Twitch occasionally, especially if it's both of us. Let's see here. Patrick the Sith. James, will you enjoy it? James, you will enjoy it. So James is going to hopefully enjoy something. Let's see here. John Sleeper. I have a war at 70. Congrats on your 70 warrior. I love warrior at 78. Tomorrow I have my job tier list coming out. And I'm sure there's going to be some people who are disappointed, but it was a lot of fun to make. And a preview. Warrior is amazing. Oh, I really love that job. Let's see here. 4.0 Stormblood made crafting too easy. Everyone and their mother does it now. Crafting is personally, once you get the macros for the crafts, like, it's a one button press and done. Like, I can show you guys, like, if you want to know, if you want to sit here and be like, how can I like craft and not like care, you know, it's it's the whole 2.0, you know, it's the macro system just makes it a non-issue. Do you go to Eureka during the campaign? No, I would have, like, personally, I advise, I wouldn't. Eureka is a glamour content, and it typically, like, it's, you can get the most powerful weapon and stuff probably right now, but here in what, 6 weeks or less, like, it's going to be regulated to glamour. If they have, like, I wish that, oh, thanks, Doug. Hey, everybody, Doug joined this. Be sure to let me know who you are in chat, because that's cool. Thanks, Doug. I really appreciate it. Hello, this is a lot easier for me to respond. Sometimes I'm like, oh, hey, someone's text chatting me. Please tell me I can just talk back. Makes it easier when I'm streaming. When I'm not streaming, it's easier just to type, because if I wasn't streaming and you could hear me, that means that you're in my house. Sorry, I make myself laugh. Gots to. John Sleeper. I started Eureka, but I haven't finished the MSQ quite yet. Eureka is the content that I want more in the game. It's very sandboxy, and I really actually enjoy it. I just need to level. Like, honestly, I think World Visit, from a technological perspective, from a coding perspective, would make the next version of Eureka immensely more interesting and possible. Because imagine, instead of going into some zone of quote-unquote Eureka, that you actually literally world visited to a quote-unquote world with, like, party finder, all the features that you want, and, you know, it doesn't necessarily reset or expire. I think what they did was what they could do technologically. I think the next version of the Relic Grind is going to be the most fascinating, in my opinion. Why am I not getting this extra free XP? What a noob. What a noob move, Brian. Let's see here. The Thunder Terror. Dude, your name is awesome. Let's see here. New to 14, your videos are massive help. Thank you, and welcome to Final Fantasy 14. Can we get some love in chat for the Thunder Terror? What game? What game have you been playing, or games have you been playing? Like, are you an experienced MMO player? Are you just checking out 14 for the first time? Like, I gotta know. Let's see here. Leveling Disciples of War is a real pain at times. Oh man. And are you ready to do it again? Level 80, baby. Level 80. I am too far away. I am not too far away. Now, let's see here. Laughing Man, dude, it drags, and I have not hit 70 and started mid-January, and I've been to level part-time because of my school and work. Dude, yeah, like, are you switching jobs? When are you playing multiple jobs and kind of bringing them up slowly? Because one of the things that can really slow down your leveling experience and really kind of suck the fun out of the game sometimes is not getting to cap. And so that's why we always root for getting to cap. And Chris has joined the... What's up, Chris? There's a website that literally generates... Oh, yeah, like the macros. Like, if you guys want, I can show that to you. Just let me know. Just tag it WorkToGame so I don't miss it. Teach us, oh bearded one. What shall you know? What do you want me to teach you? I've been taking a couple of courses in my free time. That's what I did last night because the game was offline. Chris was playing World of Warcraft, and I'm sitting here programming in VR, which was a lot of fun. And we'll see if anything comes out of it. I've got a lot of work. I got a lot to learn. Like I'm an software engineer, so thank God I know how to program. So that like one of the things in the course, it's like he's explaining to me like what an if statement is, and I'm like, okay, I can skip past this part. Like how do I function in the 3-dimensional space? I really hope I can. I want to build something really weird and fun. And then now the obvious question is like, oh Brian, I didn't know you have a VR system. I don't. I just was like, I want to learn something. I want to learn. The Crack. I hit 60 on my crafters today. Congratulations, the Crack. The Crack. Today, and the only 2 quests left, and I think I get 70 for expansion. You know, I since Heaven's Word, I don't think I've done any of those quests, which is kind of funny, and I should probably go do that because that would be beneficial. The same thing goes. I need to finish off. I need to finish off Hildebrand now that there's an actual fight that concludes with, because I have not touched that at all. John Sleeper, armor at 50. That's my highest, and the rest are over 30. Oh man, John. So that it's a you're kind of in a hard spot because there is a value in getting things to 50, because there are obviously you have the like the omni-crafting concept. You have the ability that crafters can help each other out. But there's also just a lot of work in there. So just pace it. Don't like stress about it. Make it something like casual and relaxing. I think fishing in this game is something I've actually thoroughly enjoyed. Every time I've leveled it with a beer and with some music and just kind of like did the old, my hat's backwards. That doesn't really work. There we go. See I need to shave my underbeard. getting the good stuff here. Let's see here. I've been playing MMOs since my teens. Okay, great. So you're readily familiar with that. Dark David, welcome to 14. Love it. Dark David, you are a gentleman and a scholar for welcoming the Thunder Terror. Oh, man. Like, my first MMO was Final Fantasy 11, man. And that was in 2003. That was an experience. I had no idea what I was doing. I still love that game. Sir Viking, thanks for all the videos. Has made life much easier starting up an MMO again. All right, Sir Viking, welcome. I'm very glad to help. Chris is actually here hanging out in chat as well. So he is. I'm glad he's seeing that as well because he's been putting a lot of work. Both him and I are actually going to be out at the media event. I'm going to get to actually play Shadowbringers next week. So we're going to report back to you guys after the embargo about what we think of Shadowbringers. I do want to preview everybody that no matter what you hear, it's going to be okay. Like, people are going to take the information that's given from the live letter, and they're going to assume a lot of things. So it's just about relaxing and having a good time. I can only do dungeons on the weekends Actually, John, you might actually find some of the stuff in Shadowbringers to be helpful with the trust system. If you're like if you're constantly trying to play and you have long queues, that's just no fun. So hopefully the trust system kind of helps evens that out. Silver Boulder, which new job are you more excited about for the mechanics skill-wise on Shadowbringers? Personally, I'm thinking Dancer will be my new main for sure. As somebody, I'm very interested in see what they end up doing overall with Dancer. It seems like a very... What buff do I have on? Oh, Gathering. Perfect. Is probably something that definitely intrigues me. Fundamentally, though, most likely I'm going to probably be more into the Gunbreaker. However, a lot of people, I think, make the mistake that we're getting just 2 new jobs. With the battle system changes, with it going to 80, you're going to be... You actually need to think of it as like we're getting like 15 or 16 new jobs. Because everything, like whether it changes dramatically or it has just like subtle changes, those subtle changes might end up making it far more enjoyable. So it could be that, like, you know, Dark Knight is like the best new job, even though, like, obviously you have the name already in the game. Or... but my love always is for Summoner so far. I'm curious to see if that changes in Shadowbringers. And then Chris is saying, do we not have one Tundra? So we'll have to try to get caught up. Sorry, chat's going too fast for me to keep up. I apologize, everybody. I'm glad Chris is here. He's man of the ship. And then also, Chris, like, I'm in chat. Like, if you, I don't know, you want to come hang out into voice, so you can... You can help me respond, and you can actually answer questions as well. Do gathering? I do gathering mostly. I have gathering jobs. Yeah, gathering is actually a good way into the crafting thing because you end up becoming kind of a market supplier of a lot of the materials, and then you can have your retainers take advantage of going out and farming the needed items for you as well. So that way you're not sitting here always kind of holding the bag because you're like, oh, I collected that. You can put your retainers to work. The Crack has subscribed and. The Brandon is Superman 8. Welcome, both of you, the Crack and Brandon is Superman, to the workforce. Thanks for hitting that subscribe button. We hope that you like our content. But more than that, we hope that you leave us a comment. We always love hearing from everybody. We love discussions that ends up, one way or the other. I guarantee you, now that you've subscribed, as well as 5 Tall Artists, I guarantee you this. I can guarantee you that at some point in our community here, we're not going to agree on something. But that's something that's, I think, beautiful because I want to know why you think the way you think, and I want to understand your point of view. And that's one of the things I think that I hope we all can. Like I like the conversation. I like trying to get that other perspective because I know what I believe. It's like, okay, like this is what I want. But I always like talking to people about video games. And I like to try to understand where they're coming from. So just keep that in mind. There's going to be some it's inevitable that somebody will say this in the comments at some point. They're like, I've been here since blah blah blah, and I just cannot reconcile the fact that you like Summoner more than Red Mage, and it's like I do. This is a fact. What's up, Levi? And Randy's hanging out, but he's muted and muted him and muted me. So let's see here. Sammy Swan, my main job, Bard at 70. I love Bard. Oh my gosh. I was blown away by Bard this expansion. I really actually enjoyed it. I dropped it. I stopped it last expansion with Heaven's Word. I just kind of was like, whenever you had to turn into a bow mage, I was like, toodaloo. Picked it back up. Hey Randy, how's it going, dude?
No, I was just taking a listen on the stream versus Discord.
Okay. Discord seems
breaking up a little bit.
Yeah, Discord seems to be popping. Discord's been giving me grief, and I don't. Maybe it's the new internet. Let me look at my connection.
Yeah, I think your prioritization is your stream right now. That's fine. That's why I had to definitely.
Okay, well, then maybe that's what's causing it. I've been using exit lag, and that actually reduces my ping to the server. One second, actually, Paul's gathering. Oh, nice, dude. Thanks. Was going to ping you about the dates live now, but will hit you up tomorrow. Yeah, Paul from Gather Together, Chris and I, we went out with the wives we checked out Nerdvana, and we're looking at doing a little, I guess over over 21 meet and greet, just hanging out. Nerdvana here. Nerdvana probably in a couple, like 2 or 3 weeks. We haven't got an official date, so we've been talking about that on the channel. I know people have asked, like, is that still coming? It's like, yes. We went and kind of scouted it to see what it was like, to see, like, you know, like, is it fun at a certain time? And it was, but also it was also kind of nice and a little bit more, you know, not so busy. So it's not like, you know, like, hey, we're all going to meet here, and then it's like, oh, it turns out that this specific night is just insane. Grab another beer, and I'll be right there. I actually don't have any beer in this household right now. We are completely 100% out of beer. This will be rectified though, hopefully soon. Hey Kathy, how are you doing tonight? I love that name, by the way. My mom's name's Kathy, or Kathleen, so that she goes by Kathy. I think it's always been a really nice name. That and Kristen, but I dated a girl named Kristen, and my wife has vetoed that name for any if we have any other kids that are female. It's like, oh man, I think it's such a good name. Are you playing on Xbox? Dude, boo. What are you doing to me, man? Like, I'm playing with an Xbox controller. But no, man, I wish I could be playing this game on Xbox right now. I would move. I would move 100% over from PC to Xbox, especially with the rumored specs of the next generation Xbox. Like, that would be just amazing. Again, guys, if I hit or if I miss a comment, please make sure you tag the at WorkToGame. That way it kind of shows up. And don't feel bad if you got to ask it more than once. Hey, Chris, can you hear me okay? Yeah, it's giving me. Let me drop exit lag and see if that actually ends up helping out at all. Network connection proxies applications will be closed. Yes. Okay, let's see if that has any better. Yep, connection with the server is lost. Let me just reconnect. It's like, what are you doing? What's up?
Right, that's what I was telling him.
Right, like.
Do you detect voice to speech?
Let me check.
Like.
Yeah, this was a good
So as
mini
a streamer,
group.
since you're kind of leading the party, just shut that off. If we have to hear your background noise, that's on us.
Okay,
Right.
let me go to my settings then. Guide me, oh masterful streamers. I have it on
nice
voice activity.
courtesy.
Okay,
Yeah, so you
I
don't
dropped it
want
down.
Okay.
Is that any better?
Yeah, you can drop it like literally all the way to nothing.
All the way to nothing. It just, yeah.
Oh, that's a ton better.
Is that a ton better?
Hopefully, Chris.
Yeah. It's genius. Real men of genius. Well, I guess it wasn't. I guess it was an exit lag. That's good to know, because I was like, well, man, if exit lag is messing this up, we got. By the way, to everybody, we actually got sponsored by exit lag, which is really exciting. So we're gonna. I'm gonna put together kind of a little thing on how that works. I was using it already, so I've been using them for a little while now to play Lost Ark, and then I was like,
Yeah.
huh. And then they reached out and they're like, do you do YouTube? And I'm like, yes, I do. I was like, yeah, this is cool. And so I actually discovered that you can use it for 14. It reduces ping and all that. Hey, what's up, dudes? Hey, y'all.
Do you have to level your first character through story? Yes. The main story is the best way to level your first character. It doesn't matter if you could level faster doing something else. Everything is locked behind story. So you have to do it either way.
It's like playing a narrative story. Like, it's like you're looking at like every expansion being kind of a
Whether
new.
you wanted that or not.
You can skip cutscene if it's important to you. I play for the story. Like, the story has always been a motivating piece to move to the next whatever. But you weirdos who don't like story, I don't get you.
Yeah, and like my brothers don't really like story, and they come to join me to like play PvP, which thankfully is just locked behind level 30 now, and they come in to like see what the new battle content is, and playing through the story is just a required hurdle.
Yeah, I hit level 6. I finally hit the mighty level 16 on my Culinary. And the real funny thing is I don't even have a skillet, and I've never crafted a single thing on Culinary. That's just doing my like turn-ins very casually.
Same.
It's like, oh god, somebody's like, and I know there's a value in it. Like, if I, as an omnicrafter, like, it has skills that are like, people are like, you have to have this, and I'm like, do I? I seem to be able to craft just fine. Oh my gosh.
How recommended is it to level crafters and gatherers before Shadowbringers? So in Shadowbringers, the only thing we know about crafters and gatherers that's intriguingly different than what we know right now is we'll be rebuilding the city of Ishgard.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to do that,
I don't. But at the risk of like, so it's a complicated answer because if you're okay, I was like, well, that was a weird freeze. If you're worried about like if you're feeling the burn, that's why we usually recommend that if you're caught up on story and you don't have anything like you've hit all your goals, to find a time to take a break 2 weeks prior to the expansion, not 2 weeks before the expansion, but like whenever you would see 2 weeks prior, like budget that time backwards from that point, because hype will absolutely bring you back to the game, and you might find yourself kind of playing through the pain and not realize it, and then you're done at 5-1. Like you will become the game's like, oh, this game is, oh, I just, you will be so burned out because by that, the gap between 5-0 and 5-1 could easily be very difficult to enjoy. So just keep that in mind. Now, if you're just casually playing right now, then it's a good time. Like if you don't have anything else, I would recommend doing crafting and gathering 100 times before Eureka. And that's a bet that I'm making. We'll see if it pays off. But I think Eureka is glam, and you can totally do it if you love it and you're having fun. But I don't, it's just your weapon's gonna be replaced here in about 6 weeks. Oh man,
and it's totally worth it to level gatherers if you're looking for a way to make money outside of crafting.
And it also feeds into your retainers,
Yeah.
Because even if it's not about going and gathering the same thing over and over, you just send your retainers out to get some of those rarer things, so they can just be feeding you like Gil, like hand over fist.
Culinary requires so much inventory space. Man, there are a lot of ingredients in Culinary. It's super fast to level, and I found that it was one of the cheaper ones to level. It's super fast to level decent for Culinarian.
Mm-hmm.
My God, it can really cram through some inventory.
What's up, Bible Gal? Yeah, Sargatanis.
Are people upset about male Viera? I mean,
some people
Brian, what do you
are.
think at this point,
Oh
people
no,
are still upset. Like after getting the letter, in my mind, the letter put it to bed. So like, why would people still be upset?
So I view it, I mean, as the engineer, and so I want to make sure I come off sympathetic to what people want. Yoshi P wants to make the game that people want, but then also at the same time, it's not necessarily required. I think overall, it's like we could have not had any Viera whatsoever versus getting the actual Viera and the Hrothgar. Like I personally am happy they made that and that decision and direction. Are people upset about it? Some people are. But I would probably venture to put money down that that's going to be a very vocal minority of individuals who, there's nothing wrong with the fact that they want a male Viera. There's nothing wrong with if that's something that they expected. What was wrong about the whole situation was how Square Enix prioritized marketing as opposed to just communicating that information. So what happened is that players seemed to get it in their mind that was happening. I made videos and talked about it, how it was not happening, and was called a moron, even though, whatever, I'm not bitter. I was correct. I was the one who was right. It's like, and I'm like, guys, like, and I said it like before the thing, I was like, there's going to be a lot of angry people after the Tokyo Fan Fest. And there were, because they had their expectations set to something that they, and it's just like, no. So the engineer in me, reads that under, I was like, oh yeah, what do they want to do? They made a choice and then they went with it, and I'm happy that we get female Viera. Now, Chris, you brought up an interesting thing, wondering if that the Viera being female is something that's protected within Square Enix, like if that's something that Yoshi P doesn't have within the Grand Comp. Like this is just speculation into internal politics, but saying like Ivalice is protected and we want to protect that vision of it. And so it's just easier to say, like, this is the decision we made. Pure speculation, have no basis of reality.
Ever, if that was true or not true, they would never publicly come out and state what the politics are inside Square. But Square Enix owns IPs that each individual property doesn't necessarily get full ownership and control of. And so when something like a crossover event happens, it's not just like Yoshi P gets to go, well, I'm just going to dip into the library and do whatever I want. And so when he goes and pulls Viera into his game, it is possible that he doesn't have the rights to be the one to release a male model of Viera. It's possible. It doesn't mean that's the case. Maybe
Right.
they just didn't want to do it, or any other number of reasons. But like when you go back and read the letter to see if that's true or not true, the letter doesn't actually lean either way. The letter says things like, should the things stopping us from releasing male Viera ever be resolved, not saying that they will, we could add them to the game. And like, it's okay, so that doesn't tell me what the reason is. I don't know. Interesting thought. There's a lot. You could have 1,000 conspiracy theories on why they're not releasing male Viera.
Yeah.
And people are still gonna have their feelings hurt, no matter what it is.
Well, I mean, you can't. I mean, let's say they brought it in. I mean, I honestly think it'd be cool if it was tied in with the lore. You know, that where the lore in this game says like there aren't, male Viera are so rare, blah blah blah, and that whatever we end up doing over the next expansion is something that. Obviously it's a development thing. Like you got to separate, like if you kind of let yourself get sucked into the world that like what we do matters and that we are really impacting this world in this way, that would be cool if we were able to impact it and like, oh, by the way, like whatever we did in Shadowbringers ended up bringing about the release of the male Viera, right? Like, and so it's tied into player action. And even though it was a development roadmap, hey, Rock Druid, a development roadmap restriction of like we have so much time that like, what do we want to do here? Then we go forward and conquer in that way. But that's just what I personally would be interested in seeing. Is that something that we kind of bring it about? I don't. I think that if people really want male Viera, they just need to keep expressing that very politely and respectfully in the forums. But as Chris and I said, it's like the downside about the fact that there isn't a male Viera isn't. I'm not disappointed in that. I just know that it means every live Q&A we're now going to have to burn one question every live Q&A until it happens.
We're down to 4.
Yeah. What are the 4?
So we get roughly 8 to 10 questions in every live Q&A. So let's assume we only get 8. So the first person in line, and I have no idea how they're the first person in line, is going to ask about something dealing with glamour. So I have this one hat and I have this one cape, and I was wondering if you could make them available in the same color. And it's going to be some super specific, not general glamour question. At this case, it's a general glamour question like, can we have more glamour slots, period, into perpetuity? And so that's question 1. Question 2 is going to be, you just announced recently a bunch of lore and in an upcoming patch that you haven't shown us yet. Can you tell me some of the spoilers? And the answer is no. And then question number 3 is going to be, hey, I play class X, and right now we're garbage because we're not literally God mode. What are you going to do to fix my class? Okay, awesome. Not the time.
Glamour egg is for real.
Question 4 is, can we get male Viera? And then we can talk about the 4 remaining questions.
No. That
we actually learned something.
Our math is actually wrong. We forgot all about housing questions. And housing is broken, so we're actually
get any more questions in live Q&As.
It's like it's gonna be the can we make can we because so for those who don't know, like housing going to the RNG system has only, like Chris put out a video about bots and how they should be banned, but we like to try to look at both sides of things. Sometimes that really makes people upset when we look at both sides. Like no, like it's everything is but like yeah, we agree the bots are bad, but the RNG housing thing has basically had people who really want a house turn to botting. And they're not, it's not like they're going to raise their hand and be like, yeah, I got my house because of a bot, but it's like, oh my gosh. I think the housing system in and of itself is just, as somebody who owns a house, it's like, good night, they need to fix this. And I don't like, I was never motivated to get a house. It was just like, okay, this is a nice to have. It helps being in the game for a long time. Uh-oh, there we go. Like, I've been having Bluetooth issues, and so randomly it decides to freak out on me. I need to get a new PC. I'm not wearing. Whoa, Betty Crocker.
It is really easy for us to take housing super light because we have a house.
So how was it in OSRS? Like, how do they handle that, Tundra, in that game? Yeah, Eggy Glands. Well, they say Yoshi P actually in an interview talked about like that's coming. I'm hoping that Summoner we see a big change to Summoner
always
in
coming.
next week.
The future is
Yeah.
eventual.
Yeah, we're always marching towards it. But it was funny because it was like he was like when it was introduced, it's like yeah, and then like in every patch, we'll introduce a new egg and glamour, and then 2 years plus pass, and it's like okay, Brad is subscribed. Everybody, can we get some love and chat for Brad? Thank you. Oh, I missed the Deal Good Doctor as well. Thanks for hitting that. Thanks for hitting that subscribe button. Really glad to have you as a part of the workforce. Rock Joe says, well, he's not either.
Is it here? We're in Central Time in the U.S. So
10
it's
o'clock.
10 o'clock at night.
10 o'clock p.m. I'm glad you guys talk about both sides. It's the right thing to do. I think it ends up, the goal behind it is, like that's why I always want to make sure understanding. I think trying to it doesn't mean we always have to agree, but just trying to have empathy, and it's not like, or excuse me, not have empathy, but practice empathy. To practice the opportunity for empathy, I think goes a long way. Because ultimately, online, when everything can easily be taken out of context and short messages like Twitter and things like that. I had somebody who they insisted on debating me on Twitter, and I was like, listen, we can fire up a Discord call. We can talk about this. I get that they believe that I'm what's wrong with the gaming industry. That was their view. I disagreed. And I try to do so as respectfully as possible. And ultimately, no matter what, when you're getting all these different messages, it's like, I can't, we can always jump on a call, or always welcome. I'll have that call with you anytime you want. And they're like, it's pointless. I'm like, well, if you think it's pointless, then it's pointless. Because, I honestly am trying to understand your point of view. I would love to know what's wrong with the gaming industry. I have yet to receive payment from the gaming industry. Vizier. Do the cinnamon challenge? No, thank you. That sounds horrible. That sounds horrible. Machinist was so good. I hate, you're gonna hate my video tomorrow, noob. The noob game says Machinist was so good. Maybe it was, I thought it was better in Heaven's Word. I did not like it in this one. There's going to be some machinists and monks who are not going to be pleased with what I say tomorrow. So Tundra is saying in OSRS housing is instance and portals to your house are outside choice in towns. See, that's what I think would be really cool. They can keep I like the neighborhood aspect, but if they gave players the option to have that instance house, just on this little island or whatever you wanted to do with it, that way, and even still make it where they have to earn it or something like that. But it's then they can have their little house and do what they want with it, and it becomes content they can engage with. And if they want to go buy into the neighborhood, they can keep the neighborhoods that way, because it's they could keep that neighborhood system all structured just for free companies, not for personal housing. Are you eating gathering food? I just ate food for the experience. I didn't eat it actually for the gathering bonuses. I had some mole stuff that I used to turn in for Culinary, so I just burned that. So I don't even know if I have any gathering food right now.
Just something with experience, man. Just something with experience. I eat clams because it's the cheapest food out of the Kugane vendor.
Nice. I saw that you had that with your hiding macro and things like that. So that was cool. I was like, oh, maybe I need to get me some clams.
I was using mold tea before because clams sound disgusting, and then I got more frugal and said, you know what, I can eat the clams.
Yeah, I don't actually have to eat them. Bryn has to eat them.
Yeah. I don't know what this Makote in a pig suit's doing, but enjoy clams.
Right, exactly.
That sounds awful, being in a hot pig suit eating clams.
How did I get so sick? My dad always told me, if you're gonna have oysters, you want to do them. You want to eat them in a month that ends in Burr. So September, October, November, December, and that's when and that was that's kind of a rule that I followed, etc. And one time I broke it, I regretted it, and I'm like, all right. So I don't know if it's true or not. I just know that my testing of my dad's theory proved out to be pretty true. Oh, I've got 20 high quality. Let me go turn these bad boys.
Going up tomorrow. Oh
yeah, Chris is not happy.
I'm feeling very conflicted. I'm totally conflicted. I don't know.
Apartments in 14 does work, but it doesn't let you do farming. It doesn't let you have a plot for that. So I think it was a fine system. I just think that it was a little short-sighted. But go ahead, Chris. Give them the preview.
No, I think what I'm still on the fence a little bit, even in the video, I'm on the fence. And which makes sense now is after the video. So I think I'm leaning towards letting my subscription. This is just where I am as of like 10:15 on Tuesday night. This can change. But where I'm at as of this moment is I think I'm gonna let my subscription expire in August. But as far as like my credit card payment, but I'm gonna use my WoW Gold to push it out far enough that I can play WoW Classic a little bit in the taste. Because I don't really feel like giving them any more of my money. But,
right.
Like, there's people buying tokens all the time, and so like, I don't want Blizzard to fail. I just don't want them to have my money, and so them having somebody else's money is totally worth me getting to play the game.
Well, that's one of the things that you were talking about. You're like, well,
to even have somebody else.
Yeah. One of the things you were talking about, like, was like, well, my subscription should last so I can check out WoW Classic, and then and then I can kind of walk away from it until maybe the next expansion. And I was like, when I saw the date, and I was like, oh, that's past his subscriction. He's not going to be pleased.
July.
Yeah, it was. It's funny how development works that way. Like,
it's fine. I mean, knowing everything the team has said publicly and all of that, and having had a chance to visit with some of them while I was out at BlizzCon, I think it's really a passion project, and I think they don't want to release it till it's done. And so I respect that. But it better be right.
You can use 2 planters in an apartment. I know you can grow flowers. Do they make it to where you can?
Can you plant like Havnary and onion in there? I mean, that's the real question.
Like maybe this is a change. I have an apartment. I just never go there.
You can't crossbreed, but you can buy Havnary and onion seeds. Sometimes they're cheaper than Havnary onions, and when they're not, who is buying those?
Nope, can't go that way.
I'd like to buy money, to wait time, to have the risk of losing it all, so that I can get back less money. Because you don't get a seed back from Havnary and onion in particular. So, like, my understanding of Havnary and onion, having never crossbred it, is that, like, you just get the one for the seeds.
So it looks like they can do
less than the onion.
They can do onions.
Well,
Mira, what can I do for you? I think don't know. Like, I think they want to decorate the outside. Maybe I don't know. It's not my.
The house and the garden is always wide open. So
there was a time I made a lot of money. I made a lot of money at one point. Okay, where am I going? Jeez Louise, Brian. You can tell that I do not spend time in Yanxia.
Current expansion with gear outdated. So honestly, like here in a few weeks, this expansion is going to be like any other expansion where you're basically going to just play straight through. So you'll be handed just about everything you need from vendors' requests. And as soon as you hit 70, you'll just move right into Shadowbringers.
Look at my time worm.
No need to sit
map.
there and mess around at level 70. You'll just jump straight into level 71.
What do I need? A radish. Perfect.
Work.
I knew some RPers that use the planters to grow plants for the looks. I mean, RP is a really good sandbox element in this game. I want to see some. I personally would love to see a little bit more sandbox in my theme park. It doesn't have to be. It does not have to shift to a sandbox game, but it would just be kind of fun to see a little bit. And Eureka is a kind of a sandboxy element. Role playing is a sandboxy element.
Have you watched any of the streams, Brian, on Baldarian Arsenal? It's nuts.
It's crazy.
It's nuts. We're gonna have 7 groups who can't directly really interact with each other. It's chaos.
It's such a technical hurdle that they've struggled with.
Chaos.
Such a technical hurdle, and so that's where I'm really excited with World Visit and what it means for the next version of Eureka Diadem. Just make it a world, let us travel to it, and then thus let it hey, okay, we're all on this world. We can use Party Finder. We can coordinate. We can make our alliance raids. I think it'd be a little bit easier because I know what they did what they had to do because that's what they had to do to get it to work, and I know LBC.
Baldarian Arsenal's. Oh, it's the first time I've wanted to do Eureka, and it's a little late now. What am I gonna do? I still, yeah, I haven't finished Pagos, so I'm gonna go do Pagos and then hide Davos. No. There's 6 weeks to go. I'll just
Hey,
watch
Trevor.
Mystic, right?
Yeah, we stream occasionally. That is my I think my PvP mount. Actually, I've got one more mount to go. I've gotten all the
gold one?
the Garo. I have all but one, and I'm only a couple of
gold
wins. I'm only a couple of wins away from getting the last one. Let me go. Let me go talk to the keeper of the rolls. I got 2.
Go do that.
Yeah, I'm game. If you're game, I wouldn't mind PvPing. I it's been too long, so
I need to level my white mage up. I tried doing my white mage and PvE content the other day. I don't even have skills on the bar.
You're like, what? Like, where was my... Like, nope, this is just my PvP
bars
job.
and macros are all set up. I jump into PvP and there's like literally things missing.
No, I skipped out on Eureka after I kind of went in. I was like, oh, needs level sync. And then they never added it, and I was like, I'm not... Like, I went in, and I was like playing just solo, and I couldn't queue up for anything. I couldn't have my chocobo. It was just so lonely. It was just
he said,
so
would you
lonely.
come help me? And I said I would, but it literally hurts you. And he's like, what? And I was like, yeah. Like, it's literally better for me not to. Cool. Like, I can sit outside your party. That's what Sparta did for me, but that's a real pain.
Right, and it's like people are like, oh, it's fine. I'm like, that's not interesting. Like, I don't want, like, I'm fine if it's like, hey guys, like we're all hanging out and stuff like that. But it's like, I was like, or we can go do the Alliance raid, which is amazing. You know, it's like there's other content that just was like, well, we could do this, or we could actually go do something and everybody have a good time. If they had a level sync, that solves it, in my opinion. I want what the hot wants what it wants.
So Diadem was Heaven's Words, like the instance aspects of Eureka. Diadem was kind of like that, but the Relic wasn't locked in there. It was just an in-game instance that you could go do cool stuff in. It was a little bit of chaos. Diadem plus the Relic grind from Heaven's Word is what got combined become Eureka.
Good night, Randy. Thanks for hanging out, dude. Yeah. So, and yeah, I like the Diadem. Like, it was, you kind of get matched, and it was, that's where the whole airship thing came in. Submarines didn't take advantage of it. I'm hopeful that the next iteration is going to kind of end up bringing it all together. I looked at Eureka and I was like, those are the best designed zones that I think I've ever seen. And it has me really excited to see what they put into Shadowbringers. Like, it's like, wow, these zones are amazing. Is there a high quality option here? I haven't played around with this at all. No. Blessed Harvest. Leave turn.
This was quest design.
Nice.
Gross. This is dreadful.
Well, I think that the light step and everything that they had in Eureka would be better balanced if anything you did in the game contributed to it. I'm fine if they kept it to where Eureka or whatever the relic grind was the literal most efficient way to enjoy the content. But then fundamentally, like, if I go run a roulette, like, and if I don't need like I'm level 70, it'd be neat if it contributed somewhat to my light or to my EXP or like all of that, and it just in a smaller amount. Like when and I know Chris is of a different opinion. I'm just saying that, like, when I have Eureka, like, oh, if I had 3 hours to go and enjoy it, like, yeah, I probably would do that. But if I've only got 45 minutes to play, it would be nice for me to be able to kind of get 125, like 25% of what I would have gotten if I spent that time in Eureka. That's just my opinion. Chris.
I don't mind the way it's set up. My issue is that, like, there comes a point where you're so far behind that there's this, like, feeling of, well, why do it?
Yeah.
And all they have to do to fix that is make the Eureka grind tied to, like, expansion-wide buffs. And so, like, maybe your teleports for all of the Aetherites in that expansion forever and ever for the duration of your account are cheaper. And maybe your, like, whatever, it doesn't matter. Maybe you fly faster in all the zones just for that expansion. Something that says, like, thank you forever and ever. And it doesn't matter because it's just for the zones in that expansion. There just is no reason you're like, oh, well, do I want to glamour that weapon? No? Oh, well, then I'm not going to do it. And, like, then you just have this entire piece of content that's just getting, like, dumped. There's nothing. There's no reason to do it.
So
that's terrible.
We had Trevor that subscribed, welcome him, and then Shuro Cabe 96 and Garrett, welcome to the workforce. Glad to have you. My biggest issue with light farming was that it was not how you got it, but how randomly you got it. Yeah, I think what what Anthem really kind of learned the hard way is that, people don't like RNG progression. RNG progression is fine if it's met with some form of static, predictable progression. And so where you can kind of see this is that, like, a piece of gear drops and it's better than what you've got. That's progression, and that's okay. It dropped randomly. We don't have, I can't control the loot drop rates. But then for the time that I've spent, I also got experience, and I got X, and I got Y. Mira was saying she needed some help. I thought I asked. I haven't seen her comment on that. Let me message in chat. Mira, need some help.
Is there a skill that can increase the yield of a rare unspilled node? I believe so. We do not do a lot of unspilled node army.
I haven't bothered with crafting and gathering until I was like, oh, we've got 10 weeks till the expansion.
You guys probably on stream like 2 weeks ago how all that works. I was like, what? Mind blowing stuff.
Yeah, there's even you can get an app that does timers and stuff like that for you, because it's like, oh yeah. There we go. Got 4 of those. I need 6 more. Are you are you guys just loving the gatherers and crafters? Yes, actually. Well, I mean, if I go to my character screen, and you can see, I mean, from the Disciples of War Magic, and that page is done. So Disciples of Hand and Land, I've got these crafters, Culinary, and I'm just casually doing it. And so I figured, I was like, oh, I'll do some gathering right now. Chris, are you in game, by the way?
No, I'm in WoW.
Oh, okay, cool.
I'm finishing up the stuff I started last night.
I was like, because I'd be game to doing
got to time, and I wasn't looking at starting anything tonight, so I'm just finishing up. I was doing some stuff on stream last night and leaving something unfinished in a game, just okay, I'm gonna sit at my desk.
Well, because I'd be game for doing some PvP, or I don't know, what time is it? What time? Oh, it's 10:30. Yeah, never mind. Yeah, guys, we're just hanging out, chatting with all you beautiful people, and talking about Shadowbringers. I am very much excited about that. Whoa! Welcome, Trevor, to the workforce. Hitting that member join feature. Thank you so much for that support, dude. It means a lot. I haven't heard the audio yet, so visually it shows up on the right, I think, sometimes a little sooner. I better hear some audio. Dadgum, you Streamlabs, don't let me down.
I mean, I think the problem with RNG, and something that WoW is getting in, is it makes people feel like their experience was cheapened when somebody else gets it faster than them. And so it can't be the primary form of loot. It can be a thing that benefits you or whatever. But it can't be the primary form. So if they want to have a token that drops that you go to this glamour vendor or whatever, and oh wow, I got 3 tokens during my quest today, and you got 2 tokens during this quest today. That's no big deal. But it can't be oh, this is what's stopping me from getting the weapon I need. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, and then the fact is that you feel like you pour in so much time into it, and it's again I rolled a lot more dice, and they just not falling for me, and then they fell for you. It's
I
have no problem with that. Yeah, go ahead.
So in WoW, there was these expansion. There was a couple expansions ago. There was these rare enchants, and you had to go out in the world and farm them up. And so if you wanted these recipes for your enchanter, which is one of basically the crafting professions, you had to just sit there and kill these mobs over and over and over. It was a 0.01% chance. But you don't have to have that recipe. And the people that do make money, but everybody else, they can just go to the market board and buy the enchant. So if they want to make something, it's oh, you can it's an item that permanently makes you able to retrieve materia better. Fine, like that can be a rare chance thing, but it can't be like, oh, why is the reason you're not geared for Savage? Well, because I've had bad luck. And like, why is the reason your relic isn't leveling up? I've had bad luck. It can't be a form of progression that's locked behind it.
Yeah, it really struggles. Well, and it's just, yeah, because it ends up that people actually feel more discriminated against than anything else. I have no problem with the RNG aspect. I just think that it should be paired with something that brings in some level of predictability, meaning that it's like I described it like the problem with an Anthem is it this way, is that right now Anthem's loop problem is that we all go to work and then we all do our jobs and we got all our projects, everything's going really good. And after all that work, at the end of the day, we all then roll dice to see who gets paid. And that's essentially the feeling. And so where, in my opinion, the better, more productive system is that we all do the work, we all get paid, and then if the boss wants to let us randomly roll, for a bonus, great. Nobody's hurting by that. There's no okay, it's like, oh my gosh, but that's the expectation when you go into work. I think we were talking about it recently, and it was kind of almost like, what was it? It came up to a parable in which that it's like the worker hires a guy at the end of the day and he gets paid the same. There is that we were talking about in terms of that as they make the experience easier and easier and easier, there is that sense of that loss of investment because people were like, man, I put all this work in and now they're just handing out relics and or something like that. And that ends up always, for me, no matter what, and for anybody, probably feels pretty frustrating. All right, got that knocked out.
Yeah, I don't think token grind and tombstones is the best answer.
Hey,
it's
Cat.
the answer that we have, but it's not the best. What's up, Potato? Is Streamlabs free?
Yeah, Streamlabs is completely free.
I don't. I've never given Streamlabs money.
He doesn't. It's not yet for Mac. And then actually, somebody asked me well, why don't you run
why don't you dual boot? Which is a shocking amount of power. It's just hurt.
It's like somebody was like, why doesn't Chris dual boot? He could run Windows. And I was like, I don't know. Let's see here. Boom.
It's fine.
And high quality. Boom.
Oh.
67, baby.
Consistent all games. My God.
What happened?
Quests, they're these are, so I'm in a level 40 zone, so this is very much classic content that I'm
nice.
Right now, and it's just the fetch quests from 2004 are so real. The bad quest design just hurts. Thank God they don't do quests like this anymore.
Hey, what's going on, Ryu? So Naya says, I'm surprised no gamer channels picked up SOTOR is having a new expansion now that Anthem is doing really, really bad. I think that's obviously well more than planned. Nias, just FYI, it's not like Anthem came out and was doing bad and they're like, oh man, we gotta run with another SOTOR expansion. It's that's multi-million-dollar investment. There are meetings, I guarantee it, that have been happening for a while. Yeah, it still exists. It does. I remember I played that game for a little while. I played it with Randy. I never really ended up getting into it. Just didn't for me ever connect to the way that Final Fantasy 11 and 14 has. But then again, I'm a big Final Fantasy fan at heart. Well, they keep putting in work. Honestly, behind the scenes right now, the guys are working very hard on Anthem, and it's gonna be neat to see if they get if they can do and pull off something pretty big. I think that if they end up just doing very small incremental patches, eventually it could get to where it needs to be. Because fundamentally, the only why am I not playing Anthem this minute? Well, there's nothing I need to do. People are oh, I'm not getting legendaries. What does legendary even give you? You can go run GM3 and clear it faster. I can go play in GM1 all day. I can play in GM2 and have a smooth experience, and it doesn't matter. There's no reason to play in GM3. So it's all right. But if they lean more into the RPG and give me reason to invest more in my character, that would be exciting for me. I think that I like RPGs. It would be kind of weird if I didn't. Let's see here. Tundra Terror, the only deadline they've stuck to for Anthem involved removing content POG. What do you mean? Because the Elysium cache is, whatever, quote unquote, system that was planned to go away. That was a limited run. I'm sure that's going to come back and kind of be seasonal content. But yeah, taking if that's what you're referring to, taking that out does feel like, well, there was this interesting thing, and now there is not. Let's see here. The goal, obviously, is to drive that. I'm sure we're going to see that that stuff kind of introduced back into the cash shop and things like that. Let's see here. Members. A lot of people on. Do we got any applicants tonight? No, not tonight. Yes, congrats, Levi. Congrats. All right, so what should I work on now? It's 10:30. I promised Julie I would come to bed. Anything I need? I got all my retainers out doing their thing. Oh, let's see here. I hit level 67 on that character. So I'm 66 miner, 67 botanist, 63 fisher. Tomorrow to work on Weaver. Let me go to Kugane. Let's see what they need in the fishing department with leaves, because I'm sitting on 90 leaves, and I don't want to have that hit cap, and then I'm just wasting wasting allowances that I could be getting.
Well, I'm at 100 right now.
Dean, welcome to the workforce. Glad to have you on the team. Let's see here. What do we got? Fisher, Fieldcraft. Probably switch to my Fisher into Pickle. Deliver Eastern Sea Pickles. Okay. Common Whelks. And Glass. I'm just going to grab all of these. Yeah, that's my wife. She's saying, "Are you coming to bed?" And I'm like, "Yes." Let me text her. Let me just turn in these leaves. Yes. I'll be right down. Yeah. I'll be right there. Boom. Oh yeah. I had a long day, so getting some sleep will be foundationally a good choice. I'll hook you up with leaf kits, Brian. Glow, I'll take it. Like if you got, honestly, I'd be more interested in a leaf kit for Culinary from 15 to 70. But you do not need to feel pressured to deliver on any of that by any stretch of the imagination. All right, let's see what we need. What do we need? Hey, what's going on, Assassin? How you been, buddy?
I just got home from work.
Dude, I feel you, man. Like those are long days. Oh wow, those are pricey. So I just need 6 Eastern Sea Pickles. Thanks for whoever decided to sell these in stacks of 6. You are my hero. Okay, Glass Mantis. I'm about to get off, just FYI, just so everybody knows that it's just coming and hanging out on the stream now. Let me know. Make sure you tag at WorkToGame in the chat. So if you guys have any specific questions that you want me to answer, I want to make sure that I don't be like, "Oh, that's a really great question." Yeah, I've got to get. Glass Mantis. Can I not spell? I know the answer to that. There we go. Manta.
So now it's just the home stretch.
It is just the home stretch. Dude, all right, 6, I'll buy it. Boom. And then I need 4 common whelks. That sounds like that's like, is that slang? WHELKS. Whelks. Nope. Well, maybe not plural. Well, whelk. Common whelk. No items found. Let me research. Nope. No one's selling common whelks. So I guess they are common. I don't know. all the
for leveling up quicker. Is this your first play through the game? Just do the main story. Just main story.
Everything that drives the end story.
Cap and you're not done with main story. It's not gonna matter. But I will tell you that there are some videos coming out geared to new players in the next week.
Stats over
because they're already recorded.
Yeah, stats over that. Like, so defense and magic defense, your stats directly impact those properties. So if you go and you increase like your vitality, like all that, like that's going to have that bigger impact. Good night, Levi.
If you guys have questions about being a new player and stuff, just know that 14 of the videos for the next 2 weeks are already filmed and entirely here to view.
Wahaha. All right, cool.
I'm doing a lot of traveling over the next couple of weeks, and so I went ahead and it's kind of 3 separate trips, really. so I went ahead and recorded.
What's your character name,
share my videos.
Glowatoke? Oh, I need it. I actually need it.
So when you turn in leaves, you actually get no experience if they're high quality. But as you can imagine, leaves are geared at current levels of the current item levels. So like they're really hard to get high quality with. But when you're higher level, it's really easy to get high quality. And so what will happen is a higher level crafter will make all the items for you at high quality, either because you provide the ingredients or money, or maybe just because they're being generous. And then you just go turn them in, and your leaves get turned in for double XP. You do almost no work. You just take all their high quality items and turn them in as fast as you can pick the quest up. Just pick it up, turn it in, pick it up, turn it in, and you level so fast. So it's kind of like power leveling. If you ever played Diablo back in the day, and like that level 99 just took you on runs, like fatal runs, and they just like, shot you to the top. That's what that is.
Yeah, I gotta work on crafting myself actually, because I'm watching you guys as far as your guides and stuff.
Do you want a free company? Do you want a free company, Doug? Because I could totally invite you to that.
Rock, it is the same shirt. It will be the green shirt this time. My wife says that I should change the shirt, even if I'm going to record them all on the same day. I should change the shirt throughout the day so that you guys can't tell. I should be doing wardrobe changes throughout the day. As a matter of fact, just for those of you that have noticed that I've had some really loud neighbors. So my neighbor has this teenage boy that comes and mows her lawn. And I guess this summer he didn't want the gig anymore. So now there's this teenage girl out there doing it. And the teenage boy takes a lot of breaks. It takes him like 4 or 5 hours to mow this lawn. It takes me 20 minutes, and I have the exact same size yard. So I have no idea what he's doing out there. And he starts up the mower, he shuts it off, he drinks lemonade, texts, and then he, does it, takes off his shirt, makes sure that like, hey, being great, awesome, enjoy yourself. Way to start up the mower.
I'm just gonna go and invite you.
The teenage girl, on the other hand, totally different plan. She takes the electric edger and runs it constantly, and is apparently individually edging each piece of grass. So it takes the same 4 hours, but for 4 hours today, there was just the sound of an edger just outside my window. So in like all 14 of these videos, you may hear an edger as she passes by, and like it's like, well, I can't just wait all day to hit record. So
wow,
it took her longer to mow that yard than it took the people that come in and remove the trees. Like,
I think that the Kelta is a tank. It's more of a tank piece of gear, which then I would say that would be what you want.
Probably that long to mow and edge and trim like a weed and all that. I mean, she's using different pieces of equipment, but and tiny little girl, so like,
yeah, you want that. Sorry.
She's struggling to hold the equipment. Awesome. But my neighbor's a teacher, so my neighbor just hires. I think she just hires kids for microclass or whatever from our yard. So it's always just different kids out there, and they do varying levels of quality.
Maybe like I don't know if Genova is cross world with Aether, but maybe we'll see the.
So I'll be in the same green shirt for the majority of the videos that come out between now and Tuesday after Memorial Day. I'll try to take it with me to the media live events, and anything Brian and I shoot, I can be in the same order.
Well, sometimes like it was like we did that one video, and it's like, well, somebody's working in the neighbor's yard. I guess that means it's when you don't like, we're not. That's why I think the YouTube is like, yeah, we're not. I'm not sitting here shooting in a professional studio where I can control like.
Oh, we don't work for IGN.
Nope.
Yeah.
I had this 30 minutes to shoot. This is the 30 minutes that I'm gonna use.
I get the occasional garbage truck outside my place. So.
Yeah. It
I'll
happens.
wait for those to pass. Like, I'll re-say that sentence if it's just a car. But like, if that truck passes by more than once, you guys are gonna hear it the second time. That's it.
What was the I'm looking for the crafting optimizer. Why is it not showing up in my history?
Are you asking for a link?
Macros. Yeah, it's not showing up in my history. That's weird. I guess I probably could have saved the.
Are you asking for a link?
Yeah, would you link it to me? I was going to show them before I head to bed.
There's more than one. I'm gonna go put it in chat.
Thank you.
It's in chat.
I will
Are we
prove.
able to
I
have
will
a
prove.
quote-unquote spoiler cast, or at least talking about the end of 4.57?
That's actually not a bad idea. But we need to schedule that. I don't want to be like, hey everybody, I know you're still working on No, blah 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 blah. You know. So let me go ahead and
Yeah.
show my screen. See here. Just
The
cam
nice thing is,
desktop.
spoilers when I stream, very unlikely.
Oh, there's my
since
thing.
I don't have any idea what's going on. I have a lot of questions, but
I will say that it was quite interesting the way they decided to end it.
Mm-hmm. I thought it was. I don't know. Interesting is a good word. Better word than I would choose.
problems are.
Oh, I'm now Culinary 16. Yay. Goldsmith 70. So I like this side a lot because you can kind of put in your skills, put in your crafting and gathering, and that way it ends up having a lot of control. You put in your
I
stats.
have no idea what you guys are thinking. I'm trusting you guys.
And then you can go in here and kind of put in. So if I said hi steel nugget,
Trusting.
steel nugget, and then I can say solve the problem. It's going to solve based off the stats, and like I'm using beef soup, no medicine, and then if I can go in here and I can pull up, and it will give me the macro. If you're on PC, this is really easy to copy and paste. If you're on PS4, it sucks to be you. I mean that with all the love. Now, what I would say though, I'm going to say this real quick. I'm going to just cam it. One of the things I think this game absolutely needs critically is the ability to trade macros. If I have written a macro, I should be able to trade it to you or post it somewhere so people can start sharing these things beyond just the individual or your multiple characters, because it would be so convenient to be like, oh, I've got this macro, you could really use it, and it could really help you out, rather than like, okay, well, I'm going to text it to you, or I'm going to have it here, and then if you're on PS4 and you don't have a keyboard, oh man, and you can't even copy and paste. Like, just let us share these things. Anyway, that's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, I know there's a bunch out there. I know there's a bunch
Yeah.
of different crafting optimizers, and you can have varying luck with them. But
I will say, Brian,
Yes.
that would come in handy if that was the case, because I'm like, if I need help with the rotation for a certain class that I'm learning, it's like, my friend's got a whole macro for it. It's like,
Mhm.
oh, here's a macro, and he has to copy paste it into Discord.
Yeah. So
they're
again,
all better than
go ahead.
auto crafting. Like all of the crafting optimizers, I assume are better than auto crafting, and they're
Oh,
all
yeah.
a heck of a lot less effort than actual crafting.
Oh yeah, it's the XP is just insane. I am a developer, Brandon. I'm gonna have to stop. I'm just gonna put that tattooed, because I say it a lot, because it's like it's just part of my industry. That's part of what I do, and so I've actually even written some games and studied game design and development. But it's a crazy industry. We'll see if I ever release anything. I've written a couple games and they were fun, but they weren't like finished enough to where it's like, let me go ahead and put these out, and I have to go dig for the source code. Sir Viking at the end, as I'm about to like fade off into hopefully a good night's sleep, cheering $2. I'm assuming that's Canadian dollars, which is great. You know, maybe it cheers us some of your Canadian prescription prices. Thank you so much for the $2, Sir Viking. Thank you, Trevor, for the membership. Thanks for each and every one of you guys and gals and Makotes. There's the song.
They call those tuies?
What's up?
Are they called tuies? Something weird. There's some name for them.
I don't know.
I don't know.
But thanks
There's
everybody.
some nickname.
Thanks for everybody hanging out and chat. It means a ton. This was a fun stream, even if we're not doing like, I'm just like, oh yeah, we did maps. Like hopefully this Monday, Chris is going to be out actually early in California. We're going to be there on Wednesday, and it's going to be really exciting. Looking forward to that. We'll have information to share at some point as soon as that's done. But what was I going to say? Oh, Monday I'm going to run maps. Max, oh my gosh, dude, thank you. I'm going to be running maps with the community, so come back.
It's a toonie, right? It's a loony and a toonie.
A loony and a toonie?
It's two. Loony is $1 and toonie is $2. I
Okay.
don't know.
Well,
Maybe I'm just curious.
we got two toonies, I
Toonies
guess,
are $2.
from Max.
They're not the same.
Yeah. Toonies are our $2 coins. Okay.
Thank you.
Here comes the money.
I was like, maybe I'm just
Looney
pulling this
Tunes.
out of my head. I don't know.
I've never heard that at all, but then again, I've never been to Canada.
That's
Okay.
the first
A
time.
loony and a toonie.
Cool.
So
The-
loony is the duck for the loon on the one side, and then
Yeah.
toonie is just it's $2. So after calling it loonies, then you've got toonies. That's the iteration.
Can we get some hype in chat for Sir Viking and Max for cheering and being going above and beyond. I'm gonna put in some Brian and Chris's.
A good news 3.
A good.
I don't know.
And then Trevor's got access to those fun emotes there. The
Thank you, Max.
Thank you. Yeah, absolutely. Who knows like why YouTube does what YouTube does? Like it's so funny. I so hope for the day that it's like there are so many things that I love about how Twitch handles it, like with their highlights and at the end of it, because right now after this, like the archive will go up. It will be out there. I might make the archive private, so that way, like,
it's a new tariff on YouTube.
Yeah, it is a
YouTube
penny.
tariffs.
But anyway, so again, we'll be live as long as there's no crazy maintenance on Monday. We're gonna do maps with the community. So if you're on Aether and you like maps, and if you like hanging out and watching, random simulated gambling via the via the map system, which I think is the best content in this game. Come hang out. We hope to see you back. This was a lot of fun. Chris is right. He's got 14 videos that he's getting ready to get scheduled because we figured that we wanted to make sure that we keep up with our schedule all the way through, and then we know
and we have weekly podcasts.
Yes.
For the foreseeable future.
We're going to be live on Twitch tomorrow with Scott Zone, and that's going to be a lot of fun, and that will go up on like Monday, so that you'll see it live, and then there is a delay before we publish it on YouTube and on we're actually on Spotify now. So we're on SoundCloud, Spotify, Google Play, and iTunes. So that's going to be some fun. Yeah, get some maps, especially if they kind of go down in price. Just kind of watch the price. So pick up some maps, and as long as my internet doesn't get knocked out like last time.
Hey, Brian, how do we sign up for Nerdvana stuff so we can get a head count?
Okay, that's actually really what I need to put out. Like I was messaging Paul, is that we need to look at and finalize the date, and then we basically just need to float it out. That it's like this day. It's going to be in June because that's just like I can't even imagine May with traveling next week and then the following. So we'd be looking at June the 6th, the 13th, the 20th, or hell, the 27th. That could be exciting. We could have a little Shadowbringers kickoff. We've decided to call it Gather to Game because Rubicon Vale from Gather Together, he's out here. We're all Texas local boys. And so we were like, yeah, let's get together at Nerdvana. So those are the dates that we're looking at: the 6th, the 13th, the 20th, or the 27th for some. I'm gonna have some whiskey. Preview. I'm gonna be chilling with you guys and whoever could make it. So we're figuring it out. We'll have some video on it, and then we'll pick a date. So those are going to be the dates. I'll message Chris and you and Paul about that tomorrow, so we get that finalized and we can kind of start actually talking about it. So we can try to get a head count so we can let them know. And then we'll be fun. So, woohoo! Yeah, Max, woot, Texas. That sounds like also like Yega Maggie's. Let's see here. All right, that's it. I'm going to bed. Good night, everybody. Good night, everybody. Thank you so much for being here, for being part of the workforce. Thank you for everybody hanging out. Like I lost my overlay. I'm still talking. Where is it? Okay. Thanks, Assassin, for being here. Thanks, Chris. Thanks. Levi and Randy, and then again Max for the cheers, for Sir Viking for the cheer, and Trevor for the membership. You guys are amazing. Love you all. Y'all have a good night, and I'll talk to you later.